All right, let's talk about a revolution. Not with armies or anything, but with music. We're going to look at a time when a handful of brilliant musicians basically decided the old rules were boring, so they just wrote a whole new playbook. We are diving deep into the world of bebop jazz.
So, let me ask you this. Imagine a pro gamer who's so good, they don't just win the game. They discover a completely new way to play it. A way that literally breaks the game and makes everyone else rethink their strategy. Well, that's pretty much what happened in the world of jazz. So, who was this player and what was this wild new game? To really get it, we first need to check out the game everyone was playing before this. Before this whole revolution, one style of music was king: swing. You have to understand, this was the pop music of the 1940s. It was everywhere, and it was made for one big reason: to get people dancing.
Now, swing music was played by these massive bands, almost like a full orchestra. The music was super fun, it was catchy, and it was perfect for huge dance parties. But there was a catch. For the actual musicians playing, it could be kind of restrictive. It was like being on a big sports team where you have to follow the coach's playbook down to the letter. There just wasn't a lot of room for a star player to really go off and show their own unique skills.
And right there, that's where our story really kicks off. Some of these musicians started getting, well, bored. They wanted more of a challenge, more freedom to just let loose and express themselves. So late at night, after their regular gigs, they'd get together in these small clubs and start experimenting. They basically invented their own new game, and they called it bebop. And the difference between the two? Oh, it was night and day. Swing had its big bands for dancing, right? Bebop was played by small groups called combos, and it was made for listening. You really had to sit down and focus. Those simple, catchy melodies were gone, replaced by these super fast, incredibly complex solos. The whole vibe just shifted from a giant, happy party to this intense, super creative session. So what exactly is bebop? Well, it's a style of jazz that's all about speed and complexity. It's really, really challenging. If swing was like a casual party game anyone could play, bebop was the expert difficulty mode. Think of it like a video game with an insanely high APM, actions per minute, where every single note matters, and only the absolute best players can even keep up.
And they played in these little groups called combos. We're talking just 4 or 5 musicians: a sax, a trumpet, a piano, bass, and drums. It wasn't a huge army anymore. It was like a small, elite esports team, where every single player is a superstar. Every person had a critical role to play.
Now, the number one most important skill in bebop is improvisation. All that means is making up the music as you go. It wasn't about reading notes on a page perfectly. It was about creating something brand new right there in that moment. Seriously, it's just like a freestyle rap battle, but instead of trading words, the musicians were battling it out with musical ideas.
Now, every game has its greatest of all time, right? Its GOAT. And for bebop, that person was a saxophone player named Charlie Parker. His nickname was Bird. And this guy, he didn't just play the new game, he basically invented it.
But look, Parker wasn't just born a legend. He built himself into one through sheer hard work. As a teenager, he was completely obsessed with his saxophone, practicing for like hours and hours every single day. He studied all the great musicians, learned all the rules of music inside and out, so that he could then turn around and break them all to create his own unique style.
Parker was what people call a virtuoso. That's a fancy word for a musician with just an unbelievable, insane level of skill. To put it back in gaming terms, he was a player with totally maxed out stats. Speed, creativity, technique, you name it, he had a 100 in it.
So what were his superpowers? Well, for one, his playing was just impossibly fast and complex. He could take any popular song, just the basic chords, and invent a whole new, mind-blowing melody right on top of it. And his solos weren't just a bunch of random notes. They actually told a story. They were packed with emotion and energy. And maybe the wildest part? He made it all sound effortless.
Yeah, because he was such a master of improvisation. Every single time he played a song, it sounded different. He was creating new art in real time every single night. Can you imagine how exciting his live shows must have been? You never knew what you were going to hear, just that it was going to be genius.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all happened in the 1940s. That's ancient history. Why does any of this still matter today? Well, because what Charlie Parker and the other bebop pioneers did, that wasn't just some passing trend. It permanently changed the game.
Here's the bottom line. It's actually pretty simple. Bebop became the new foundation, the new operating system for jazz.
Almost every single style of jazz that came after it was built on the ideas that Parker and his friends came up with. They didn't just add a new chapter, they completely rewrote the language of jazz itself.
And his influence was just massive. I mean, of course, he inspired tons of other saxophone players, but it wasn't just them. It was trumpet players, pianists, drummers. Everyone wanted to learn this new way of speaking music. His ideas sparked brand new styles. And even today, if you go to music school to learn jazz, guess who you're going to be studying? Charlie Parker.
And here's the part that is just absolutely mind-blowing. He did all of this, changed the entire direction of music in an incredibly short life. Charlie Parker died when he was only 34 years old. Just 34. But the legacy he left behind in those few years was big enough to change music history forever.
So, if there is one single thing to take away from this whole story, let it be this. One person's passion, their creativity, and their insane dedication to working hard, it can truly be powerful enough to completely change the game for everyone who comes after them.
Charlie Parker found his voice in those flying, lightning-fast notes from his saxophone. That was his way of showing the world who he was and what he was feeling. So that kind of leaves us with the final question to think about, right? How do you share your unique voice with the world? Thanks for joining me.